A very warm greetings and salutations, fellow internet users. It is I, EEW, and welcome one and all back to the Carousel Congregation. Welcome to drop number 3 that we are hosting. This drop will be slightly different compared to the past 2 that we have done in the past. In fact, most of the inventory that I will be showcasing today is actually not physically with me yet. They'll be arriving in about 2-3 weeks approximately. So once they're here, of course, I will showcase them. But for now, I will be just showing the pictures that I have of the items. And these items are just a little bit lucrative, you know, the region-locked exclusive items. Not from Asia this time. Surprise, surprise. Yes, this might just be the community's one and only chance to get a plethora, a surplus of these specific plush. Now, before we get to the actual showcase, there's a few things I'd like to communicate with the audience. Firstly, I might be reshuffling around certain items that sell quite well with certain items that don't sell well. This is just to ensure that inventory is, you know, moving and not just sitting in a corner of one of my spare rooms. Nonetheless, there'll be a small and just a very, very small discount on these reshuffled lots. So for example, a classic Changi plush bundled with a space pig might be knocked down from 10 USD to 5 USD, for example. Alright, that's out of the way, let's move on to the showcase. So first we have a White House Leisure Angry Birds Hatchlings Red. He is massive. This is him next to my face. Here is a HK12 Blue next to him. For better scale, here's a HK86 Red, better representation of the 5-inch scale. That is just how big he is. He's just about the size of like a between like a 12 and a 16-inch. He's massive actually. I've kept him for a while now, but I think it's finally time to let him go. 1, I don't have the space. 2, I don't really have any sort of attachment to it. Joining him is actually this another creature. It's another White House Leisure Angry Birds Hatchlings plush. You can buy it. They'll be cheap. I don't really want them, honestly. They're okay plushes, but I just don't have the room to keep such massive plushes that really don't contribute to all of this, so hence why they are being listed. Of course, it wouldn't be the Carousel Congregation without Changi, right? What do we have today? So one of 3 Changi plushes in this lot actually is a Changi Blue. This one is sealed, and you might remember that we had a Changi Blue in the previous drop. This one is actually slightly different. Let me pull out my personal Changi Blue. So if you compare the 2 Changi Blues, there are actually small differences. First of all, look at the size. They are slightly different. This one is just a lot smaller. The beaks are different. But the most noticeable change, the eye embroidery. Look at that. And look at that. Much thicker, and the eyes are just a lot smaller. This one it's pretty good in its own right, but this one just looks so much better, like comparing the 2. This one is just so much cooler. I'm honestly tempted to keep this for myself, but since I already have the one Changi Blue and I don't really need all these like small variants, like the differences with the chucks and the bombs, I really don't need to fuss too much about this. So yes, we have a very nice Changi Blue. If it's any Changi plush you're going to pick up, this is the one. This is by far the best looking Changi plush I have ever seen besides the Space Pigs. Now I'm gonna save what everyone's probably waiting for after the showcase of the items I don't have on hand right now. So let's go to that. I will voice over all of the pictures that they've given me and just take you through what the items are. So the items that we're offering are Reversibles, Scanson brands from Australia. These are quite, not say hard to come by, but as region lock plushes, they are quite difficult to collect in the West, at least from my knowledge on eBay US. So here they are. This is my, not one I'm selling, but this is my personal example just to show what they can do. They've got this zipper at the bottom, and you can reverse them. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what these are. I mean, Reversibles have been around since like forever. Yeah, pretty cool plushes, all things considered. Not very common to find on secondhand markets, especially eBay US, which is where most people would be shopping, I assume, or at least has the most quantity of lucrative Angry Birds plush. So yes, Reversibles, very cute, honestly. If you're curious about the size, again, here's a HK86 5-inch red next to them. About the size of an 8-inch. Here's a 8-inch Santa Blue. Roughly there, about the size, a little smaller. He's cool. They're nice plushes, all things considered. So yes, let's see what reversibles that we have for offer. While this just may be a voiceover for now, once my inventory does come in, I will do a proper showcase of each individual plush. So for the combinations that we'll be offering in drop 3, red to blue, red to Matilda, Chuck to blue, Chuck to Bubbles, bomb to blue, bomb to Matilda, and finally pig to blue and pig to Matilda. For reference, here's a picture of all 8 reversibles if you're confused. Alright, thank you voice over me. So let's go to what everyone's probably waiting for, how many space pigs are in this drop. First of all, here's this bag, this green plastic bag. What's in here? I'm not gonna touch it, but here's a very crusty Changi pig. He's gross, which is why he's in this plastic bag. He's there. Now why am I showing you this? He will be sold alongside this fat pig. This mediocrely crusty fat pig. Look at his body proportions. He is so weird sometimes. He's got this little gash on his snout. I'm not entirely sure why. A good thing to note is that none of the spots are peeling. I have noticed that some Changis have a case of peeling spots. So it's good to see that this one, while being used, is in pretty okay condition. Just needs to get a little wash, get a little restoration, give him a nice little brush and bath. And that is it. That is it for the Carousel Congregation drop number 3. Definitely a smaller and more different drop. But I think there's a lot of plushes that are quite desirable in this one. You got, of course, region exclusives, the usual Changi, but this time we're offering stuff from a completely different continent, Oceania, or more specifically Australia. Like, I did not think that I would be doing this, but I'm just so happy that someone could bring these items to the congregation to distribute to the community. At the end of the day, I just want to see these region-locked, continent-locked plushes make their way to the community. That is the goal of the congregation, after all, to give chances to collectors who previously would be locked out of getting such plushes. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you've stuck around this long, thank you very much. As a small teaser for you, the next drop will not take 1 month. Give it 2 or 3 weeks. I'll see you then. With nothing else to say, I bid you farewell. Have a good day.